Hey everyone, I am Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes, and I'm here to do a collective reading, message, and I don't know, just a talk. It's not a share. It's more, well, it kind of has some share in there, but it's more of a talk. But anyways, I was going to get on here and share, I was going to talk about paranormal activity and, how it can get blown out of proportion and the reality of it all and stuff. And I kind of feel like I'm still going to. But what threw me off just now was I was going to pull one card to have the basis of the reading, and two flew out and flew down on the floor, and one kind of got stuck, and I was like, I see you, motherfucker, get over here. And the one that I saw when I said that was nostalgia, sentimentality, and memory. Someone from the past. I see you hiding. There's someone from your past who's still lurking, who's there. Because that's what that felt like. Like, I see you, I caught you. Like, I shouldn't have seen you, but I see you. So, I feel like for some of you, if you're going to resonate with the reading aspect of this, paranormal activity is tied to this shit. Just say, I don't know, like maybe both of you are interested in that, or both of you have experiences, but there's someone from your past who is hiding, who's lurking in the shadows. That's really what I want to say there. And that's not what I originally set out to talk about. I'm just gonna say. And then the other card, because there was two, is beloved, and it's love, reciprocity, and intertwinement, like togetherness, basically, like you're intertwined, reversed. So whoever this person is who's hiding, who's paying attention, who's in the shadows, you see them, you feel them, you sense them, you know they're there. They're not spirit, they're a person, and there's someone from your past who is still feeling connected to you, who still wants to be connected to you, that you're not connected to. You might associate with them, you might talk to them, but you're not in love with them, you're not in a relationship with them. And if you don't deal with them, they're still there for whoever that is. That was very prominent. That's not where I expected that to go, just saying. But that's what came out, and that's what I'm going to say, because someone needs to hear it. And it's not to scare anyone, because I don't feel like this person's a stalker. Like, they're not going to harm you in any way, shape, or form. That's not what this feels like to me. There's just someone who is still attached to you, your energy. You probably feel them, sense them, pick up on them, whatever. Whether you realize it or not, you could think it's somebody else, but it's this person kind of thing. Their energy lingers. Whoever they are, they're not gone. Whether you talk to them or not, they're not gone. Whoever that is, their energy is making themselves known, because they aren't, if that makes sense. Because if it's someone you talk to, they're going to play it off as like nonchalant, like I don't care, and all that shit. If you don't talk to them, you're going to think they don't care because they're not in your world. There's someone who's paying attention, like a lot. A lot. A lot. And it's kind of funny because how I want to dive into this whole quote unquote paranormal shit, because some of it is and some of it isn't. And I just want to dive into that a little bit before I read any deeper into this energy. Is roses are significant. There's roses here and there's roses here. Pink and blue. It's like two different perspectives if you think about it. If you think about two different people. But it's almost like a love that has died, gone past, is what I'm feeling. So this could be an ex or someone that you once had feelings for that you don't anymore, even if you didn't date them, but there's someone paying attention. So anyways, the weird thing with the roses, okay, I'm being reminded of something. So there's two weird things with roses. A few years ago when I was doing my spiritual drives and shit, I decided to read. No, well, I was reading, but to leave It's Tipsy Tarot, by the way. You know, it's 4th of July weekend. Fuck it, right? I'm not hammered, but I'm feeling good. So anyways, I decided to leave flowers of inspiration, and they were fake roses. Like, all of them were roses, different colors. You know, I had white, purple, red, and white, purple, red, and blue. And I put little tags on them with little sayings like, just call them, or believe. You know, it was a bunch of different shit. There was a lot of them, and I left them all over the place. And my point of that was to, this just came to me, that's why I'm saying it. The point behind all of that was for whoever randomly came across them, it could be a message for them, especially if it resonated with them, if they wanted to pick it up and take it, whatever, or if they just saw it and was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, they were flowers of inspiration. That was the point of it. It got a little misconstrued with certain people, and I haven't gone deeper into it, and I will. I know I always say I will. Some of you don't give a shit. Some of you do because you've asked me about it, and I am working on that. I'm actually writing it down and kind of figuring it all out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to go start to finish, but it's hard because like the way your memory works is like you remember certain things and you write it. And this is how Spirit told me. They go, it doesn't matter about chronological order. Just write it. Like, whatever you're thinking of, write it. And then rearrange it later, you know, if you want to put it in order, kind of thing. So I guess I got a point there. But anyways, so there's that. But regardless, that the rose thing, that's what I was thinking of. That's not what I was thinking of. That's what literally just popped in my head. Because what I was thinking of with the roses originally today, when I was talking about paranormal activity and I said I want to talk about that, was I was out in the kitchen and one of the kids came out and was like, oh my God, there's a ghost in the living room. I was like, I'm like, why do you say that? And I know I'm laughing and I'm totally into that stuff, and I believe because I know I've had experiences too. So I don't just credit people, but I don't see every single thing that happens as paranormal or spiritual, because it isn't. You know, sometimes there is a logical explanation, which is the point I'm trying to prove here and what I'm trying to talk about. They said that, and I was like, they made it sound like the old roses that I had in there, because I was like, the roses fell in the living room? Like, from where? And they're like, from the shelf. I'm like, I have a lot of shelves. Like, what are you talking about? And like, from the shelf, it looks like a window. And I'm like, where did it fall? To the floor. Okay, let me see. They made it sound like it like flew out of a vase or something in front of their eyes. Like, that's the way they came to me. And I'm going, what? You know? And then I actually checked it out, and the elastics, I had it hung up on the wall. It was hung up to a nail. So it was hanging, they were hanging upside down. And the elastic had rotted, you know, over time. That happens. And it snapped and it fell. That's not paranormal. But they looked at it that way. And a lot of people see certain things that happen like that. Or even when a light flashes, sometimes they see it as being paranormal. It's not always the case. You know, there are power surges, there are electrical issues, there are rotten rubber bands, the wind hits something just right. You know, there are logical explanations for certain things, for a lot of things, actually. So I kind of wanted to dive into that, because when I explain certain things, and I bring up like, oh, my light flashed, it's because it's happening in the moment when I'm reading and saying something. Because the lamp that I have now is still a touch lamp. It's the matching one to the one I had before. And that one started going all funky chicken, and just, it went weird. It got fried, basically. And I'm like, I gotta test this out. So I took the one from my daughter's room and put it in my room and put the funky one in her room. And I told her, and I said, okay, if this thing goes weird on you, tell me, because it means the lamp is fucked, basically. And she's like, okay. It was fine the first night. And then the next night it started acting weird. And the lamp that I have now wasn't doing that. I kind of feel like the energy that was manipulating that lamp in my room probably fried a sensor or something. I don't know. It could have been just the lamp is crap. Who knows? Regardless, she doesn't use it. She has the different lights and stuff. So that lamp was toast. So when it was doing, it wasn't like answering a question like before when I'd be talking about something and it would blink and then not do a goddamn thing at all. You know what I mean? It wouldn't turn on or off or anything like that unless you touched it. But it had been in here for a long time. Well, this one is not acting weird, but it still does flash at certain times. But it's not like, it's the same way that the other lamp was, where it would literally answer a question or turn on randomly while I was sleeping or something to wake me up. It doesn't do weird shit. It's not the outlet. I've moved that fucking thing around a million times. I've moved a bunch of shit around. So I feel like with the flashes, in the way that I'm talking, is spiritual. But when the lamp started shitting the bed and doing weird shit, that wasn't spirit. That was the lamp shitting the bed. And I tested it to prove so. I do that. And I'll ask questions too, to different light sources that flash and flicker to answer questions and stuff. I'll be like, all right, if this is legitimately spirit, do this. And it will. And if it's not, it won't. And it will just do its own fuckery, you know what I mean? Like, whatever the hell's gonna happen to it, kind of thing. And I had this weird experience with the lights outside. We have these, like, string lights outside and stuff. And they're fine, whatever. One strand is completely dead. I unplugged it, it's fine. And that wasn't the one that was doing anything anyways. There was another one, and it wasn't really doing much. It was just normal. And then it started flashing at me at the weirdest time. I was watching a video about brainwashing and how people brainwash people, and like talking about the government and stuff like that and whatever. It started flashing at me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these lights? Are they malfunctioning? Like, it distracted me from the video because I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Well, when I stopped the video, so there's no audio on anymore, the flashing stopped. It just went normal again. And I was waiting for it to fuck up again, so I'm just sitting there like, waiting for you to flash, you know what I mean? It didn't at all. And the next day was fine. It was like a couple days later or 3 days later, I thought they broke because they weren't on. And when the garage light inside is on, they're on because they're on the same circuit and all that shit. So the light was on, but they weren't. And I'm like, oh, they must have fucking died, you know, they must have crapped out. Whatever. That's all I thought. And then I'm just doing my thing, and I looked up for some reason, and they were on, but they were dim. And I'm like, there's no dim switch on these fucking things. They're either on or they're not, you know? And I'm like, why are they dim? I was like, they gotta be dying, you know? That's what I thought. That's all I thought. And I left it at that. Didn't tell no one nothing because, you know, if lights are dying, it is what it is, kind of thing. Well, tonight, they came on normal. Just completely normal. Like, they weren't flashing, they weren't dim, they were normal. No problems whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. Oh, the lights work. Yay. You know, well, the ones that were plugged in, because the other ones don't work. But anyways. So I was just happy the lights were fine. I'm doing my thing. And then my daughter's boyfriend comes out and asks me for something. And I'm just like, he asked me for my lighter. And I was like, last time he asked me for it, you didn't put it back where he found it. I had to go back inside and go fucking get it. And I'm just getting so sick and tired of having to take extra steps because people don't put things back where they belong, or they don't take care of shit, or they don't clean up after themselves. And it's a whole other story, but I'm just gonna say, get fucking irritated again over that. I don't care who you are. I really don't give a fuck who you are. Pick up after your fucking self. Period. Especially in my house. Wash your own damn dishes. Just pick up after yourself. I busted my ass today cleaning this house, and I swear to fucking Christ, or all that's holy, because, you know, whatever you believe in, I swear, fucking dirty my floor. That's all I have to say. Anyways, and I mean, I might come uncunted on someone. I'm so sick and tired of organizing things, putting things away, cleaning, and then someone coming in behind me and fucking it up. Every single person in this house, except for my granddaughter, is old enough to pick up after themselves. So I'm gonna put my boot up their fucking ass a lot harder than Toby Keith would. Just saying. And I know he's passed, so God rest his soul, just saying. I really love Toby Keith. But anyways, regardless. So I was bitching about that with the lighter, and the light flashed, and he's like, he looks up, and I said, yeah, what'd I tell you? Put my shit back where you find it. And it did it again. And then not again after that. I was like, it fucking answered you. They're giving you a what for? Because, I mean, it's common sense. You know, I'm just saying, spirits got my back. Like, legit, they do. And I know they do. A lot of people could look at that as a fluke. And, you know, maybe it is a fucking light issue. Who knows? We never truly know. We just know what we feel and what we sense. And it's kind of a weird coincidence when it happens at certain times. You know, it's like, of all the times this could happen, it happens when I say this, or it happens when this energy is this way, or when this is happening. But it doesn't happen any other time. Those are the things to pay attention to. Because if it's just happening willy-nilly for no fucking reason, especially with a light thing, it could be an electrical issue. You know, like, always start with reasonable explanations or scientific explanations for certain things. And if you rule all of that out, and it's like, okay, well, that was a weird coincidence, or what are the fucking odds of this? It's probably an answer for you. So that's probably why I want to come on here, just to like explain how spirit can speak to us and answer us. Because I don't have poltergeist activity and shit like that going on in my house. I've had fucked up shit happen around me before, so I know exactly how that feels and what it looks like. But I know a lot more than that, just saying, from experience, not just from a psychic medium standpoint, from like legit experience where it can be terrifying. But I just want to say, just because some experiences, especially paranormal experiences, which is usually the unexplainable, spiritual experiences, whatever, just because they're scary, just because they scare you, doesn't mean they're evil or demonic. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about on here tonight, because I'm so sick and tired of seeing, like, okay, like ghost adventures, or I called them ghost plumbers. What the fuck were they? I can't remember. I called them the ghost plumbers, but they were the Roto-Rooter guys from New England, the paranormal investigations, ghost hunters. There we go. Them, and there's a million and one other ones. And those were just like back in the day, the groups that I was interested in watching because they were very popular and whatever. And they were on TV, and it was like, oh, that's so cool. And I would pay attention not to what they were saying and not to their reactions to what was actually going on. And it is exciting, you know, for the viewer, for the participant, for, you know, a lot of people do paranormal investigations for the thrill, you know, for the excitement of it all. It's so much more than that, is what I want to say, especially if you're actually speaking to a spirit or dealing with anyone or anything from the other side. It's not all fun and games, for one, even if it feels that way going into it. And I kind of feel like that's why there's so many skeptics out there, because not just why there's so many skeptics, but a lot of shows and people make a mockery of the subject. Like, they over dramatize. They do the Hollywood theatrics or whatever with it all. And me personally, from my personal experience, I'm not talking about anybody else. You know, whatever you experience is your experience. But for me personally, dealing with anyone or anything on the other side, I mean, I have had my scary moments, but, you know, where I was fearful and like, what the hell's going on kind of thing, it's very different. Like, it's not as scary as people want to believe it is or think it is. That's Hollywood. That's TV for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are scary experiences that people have had, that will have, that do have, because we're normal people, normal everyday people, including myself. We tend to fear what we don't understand. If we don't know what's going on, we don't know what's causing it, we don't know what this is, it can invoke fear. If we feed off from that fear, we can envision that as bad. It's not always bad. And if you're an empath and this shit's happening, whether it's poltergeist activity or just residual energy, whatever, even if it's a not a coherent spirit, but intelligent spirit, basically, if you're an empath, you're going to feel what that entity is feeling, or what that residual energy is, or whatever's going on, whatever's around you, basically. You're going to feel it. And if there is trauma that is just like marked on a place and it's bad, you're going to feel scared, you're going to feel bad, you're going to feel sad, you're going to feel angry, you're going to feel all that shit because you're picking up on that energy. And that can invoke fear, especially if you don't know or understand what the fuck's going on, you know? I've been there. I really have. And that's why I wanted to explain it, because, I mean, yeah, I understand why the shows that are on the Travel Channel and whatever for paranormal investigations and stuff, why they over dramatize, because it's for views, and it's, you know, it's just like Hollywood movies when they base a paranormal experience off from true events. They over exaggerate because it's Hollywood. They always do. You got to make it exciting and scary, and, you know, like, so people will watch. You have to draw the audience in. So I totally understand why that happens on the TV shows and in film and whatever. But the reality of the situation, even though it's more terrifying than Hollywood for the people involved, normally because they lack the understanding and they don't care to know, you know what I mean? Because it usually happens to people who are sensitive but not open, which is kind of fucked up. But it does. You pick up on stuff. It happens. I'm not saying that's always the case, but I don't know. I guess I just want to say that spirit is not a scary thing. It really isn't. Dealing with the other side is not a scary ordeal. I do warn against messing with shit you don't understand, because if you don't understand, you're going to welcome in energies and entities and people and whatever that you're not ready for, and it will scare the fucking bejesus out of you. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where that comes from. But there's also the whole good versus evil. You can't have good without bad. You can't have bad without good. There has to be that contrast. So there are negative entities out there, negative spirits out there. And you don't know who you're encountering. And if you're not at least woke enough to realize the difference, you could be talking to or welcoming in someone with bad intentions. It's the same thing with strangers, with people we meet. And that's how I want to explain this, because I don't want to explain it as God and the devil. You know, some of you believe that, some of you don't. I don't. I really don't. Hell doesn't exist. It was made up by a fucking poet because a king wanted to scare people into control, and then it just evolved from there. Go do your fucking research. But if that's your belief system, I don't discredit you. If you don't like me because I said that, don't stick around. I don't care what you say. You know, if you don't like me, it is what it is. We had a good run. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hold back anymore. I'm sick and tired of catering to what I think society wants. No, I'm going to say what I feel, what I sense, what is necessary, and if you don't like it, don't watch. If you like it, continue to. If you want to be here, great. You know what I mean? I say that to my friends and family as well. You know, I have a small circle. It's not even a circle. It's basically not very many people, but that's okay. Actually, I want to say my circle is pretty huge because the Willow Vibes tribe is pretty amazing. You guys have saved me on so many occasions, just saying, like, just knowing that I have such a big family, you know, because family isn't always blood. You guys are my family, and I love you so much for it. You know who you are. You've been here for a minute, and no matter what fucked up shit I've said, you're still here. That's you're my true blues, basically. And anytime you message me, I try to respond. I try to be there, and I am there for you. I just want you to know that. And a lot of you do know, because I do respond. I do the best I can. So anyways, I digress because I'm getting sidetracked. So I just wanted to kind of cover a little bit of the paranormal crap. And that's about it, because we're going to dive into something else, into the reading. Someone is lurking. Because like I said in the beginning, someone from the past was trying to remain hidden. They're not hidden from you. You're well aware that they're around. It doesn't matter who this person is to you. You know that someone from the past is paying attention to you in some sort of way. They're there. Bridge. They want to bridge the gap, definitely. They might live at a distance, not necessarily. Or they want to travel with you or something. Or travel is just significant here. But this feels like they want to reconnect. This is someone that wants to reconnect. So it's probably not someone that you're actually talking to right now. Yeah, you're not. Because I did say in the beginning that it could be someone, whether you're talking to them or not, they're paying attention. This is someone you're not talking to anymore. It's someone you know. They want to bridge the gap and come back together. Give me one of these before I dive any deeper. That's too much. It's like a bridge. Why is everything so flippity floppity? Stone heart and materialistic. All right, whoever this is, they were focused more on the material realm, their finances, their job, their career, whatever. They probably put you on the back burner and had a heart of stone, like they blocked you off. They were cruel, they were heartless, they were emotionless towards you. I'm not saying that's who this is, like that's how they are on the regular, that's just how they treated you. So whoever this is was more focused on the material realm. And now they kind of want to talk. Like, I'm still lurking in the background. You don't know that I am because I treated you like shit. Didn't want nothing to do with you because money was most important. Money buys happiness with this person. But they're realizing that that's not true. Yeah, so there's someone from the past who chose their job, money, whatever, something that would have provided more for them than you in the material realm at the time. They're they're still there. Doesn't look like they are, but they are. That's kind of funny. There's something to do with someone's tone of voice. They didn't like your tone. Like maybe you took a stand with them and they didn't appreciate it. Or they did with you and you didn't. So there's something to do with someone's tone. Like, I don't know, because I kind of feel like, why are you talking to me like that? So maybe you approached this person and you were like, in the past, and you're like, well, this is, explaining what I just said, you're being, maybe not even saying you're being this way or that way, just like money isn't everything, or trying to teach someone, show somebody a different path, a different way, and they didn't like your tone. They didn't like how you're speaking to them because it differed from their view, basically. Transitions to the spirit realm. If any of you are psychic mediums, I'm going to say definitely mediums. They didn't like your talk of the dead. They didn't like something you said about someone who is deceased, or about that whole subject matter, no matter what it is. Because, healing from heartache. There's someone here who decided to be more focused on money and shut down from the situation because they didn't like what you said about someone who crossed over. Because you probably picked up on this person for them and they didn't like what you had to say, or they don't like your view on the other side because they have a different belief, you know what I mean, on how souls cross over and blah blah whatever. There's just a different view here, but I kind of feel like you said something to this person that struck a chord within them, and it made them go kind of cold towards you. It didn't make them disappear, but it made them disappear, but they're not gone. Like, they're doing the whole magician act where, oh, I pull a rabbit out of my hat. Where the fuck did the rabbit come from? Oh, where the fuck do you come from? That kind of thing. There's a rabbit. It's like, you're going to come out of nowhere. Someone's going to come out of nowhere. Maybe you came out of nowhere in this person's life in the past. I don't feel that deck. So we'll use this one. I feel like you were like an angel to this person, trying to guide them and help them in some certain way. And they were taking a logical approach about it. They're very skeptical on what you were saying. Yeah, because there's the emotion here, being an empath, and the high priestess. So I feel like this person has a very analytical mind, and they were like, logically speaking, this is how it is. And you come in with like, this is what I feel and this is what I know. And they're like, no, that's not true. No. No, because on TV it says this, and what you're saying is fucking crap. Don't believe everything on the internet. Don't believe everything on TV. You know what I mean? Hollywood's full of bullshit. Just saying. Yeah, definitely don't believe everything online or on Hollywood, whatever. You get what I mean. I know I'm online, but you don't have to believe me. I'm not forcing anyone anyways. Page of Swords. And if you don't, that's fine. Click off. Queen of Swords. There's two feminine energies here. Give me a second. Because we also have the Four of Cups. Somebody rejected the truth. They rejected spiritual information, so psychic information. You know, because when somebody delivers psychic messages, it can be hard to believe until it happens, and then when it does, it's like, oh, there, the cement truck rolls up, and there's your concrete evidence. You know what I mean? You don't always know until it happens, especially if it's future energy. That's why, like, when I do personals, and I've said this, I don't know, a long time ago or whatever, this is how I do it. When I do personal readings, there's always past information that I start off with, current information, and then shit that isn't happening. So if you resonate with what's already happened and what's currently going on, and then you don't even, like, okay, maybe, I don't know, that's future. But if you actually connect with past and present, that means, you know, you're probably going to connect with the future stuff. So if it's something you don't want, make a different choice kind of thing, which is why tarot even exists in the first place. That's why psychic messages are even possible. It's to help you with free will to choose a new direction, to choose a direction. So if I say for you personally or whatever, oh, you're on the right track, everything's going fucking great, you can go, all right, good, great, I'm gonna keep doing this. Or if I say, well, I don't know, there's gonna be a bad business decision in here somewhere, like I wouldn't talk to so and so but talk to this person, or there's gonna be a different opportunity that approaches, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I kind of feel like a choice between working with someone I'm already working with and working with somebody new. I feel like go with a new one because this is where you're going to end up down this line. This is what I see here. You have the free will to choose what you want to do. You can believe me or not. You can go, oh, okay, well, that good opportunity you're talking about is horseshit. I'm going to stick with what I know, what's going on, it's working. That's great. Make that choice. And then it doesn't work out. You can't get mad at who gave you the advice or who tried to give you the guidance, because it was your choice to do whatever the hell you wanted, you know? So tarot is actually a moot point, cow's opinion, moot. I know that's what it really is, but it's funnier to say moo. A cow's opinion doesn't fucking matter, does it? Because they just graze in the field, you know? You can take advice or leave it, no matter where it comes from or how it comes in. You can follow a sign or not. You can do whatever the fuck you want in your life. Because that's life. We have free will. We can do whatever we want. And if you make a choice and it sends you down a bad path, you go against what somebody else advised you to do, or especially if you ask them and they're like, I wouldn't, and it's someone you truly trust, or you're talking to a stranger who's a psychic and they're telling you shit that's going on in your world and giving you the proper advice and you still ignore it because you think they're just a fucking full of hubba bubba bullshit, you know, hubba bubba bubblegum. You think that, and then you just do the opposite, and then you end up on shit's creek without a paddle. That's your own fucking fault. Because that's the choice you fucking made. That's nobody else's fault. Nobody created it by yourself. Whether it's good or bad. We create our own lives. Like, legit, we do. I'm not going down that rabbit hole with you guys tonight because I just talk about paranormal shit. As far as I'm taking it tonight. So anyways, there's two feminines here. And I kind of feel like both these feminine energies... Alright, this is how I want to say it. I don't know why. There's a masculine. So there's a dude over here. Masculine energy. Whoever he or she is. Because we like males and females have masculine and feminine energies. And if you harness both, well, we all harness both. But if you're active in both, you're balanced, basically. But anyways, I hate doing the whole masculine, feminine. I just want to say dude or chick. I honestly do. Because it feels like there's one guy and two women. But anyways, one masculine, two feminine, put it where it fucking fits. So this masculine, I was going to say this dude, is being logical. He's taking an analytical approach. Like, I can be smart about this shit. Because there's two women here who both claim, or two feminines, who both claim to be high priestess. So they both claim to know things, to be sensitive, to be psychic, to be whatever, whatever the title is, whatever the fuck they're claiming, something along those lines. They both are claiming this, but only one of them is online. And the one that's online got rejected. But you know what's funny? The one that's online is actually the one that's more in her power and is more in their power because it's a feminine. I want a little bit more on both of them. A little more on both of them. I don't know why. So give me more on the Queen of Cups up here on the top. So I don't know if this King of Swords energy, this masculine, knows. He probably knows both of them, but I don't know if he's closer to the Queen of Cups energy. Might not be their sun sign, there's a lot of burdens there. This one's just trying to weigh this one down. It's a lot of work. All right, let me see what's on with the Queen of Wands before I dive more. That one left. So this could be this masculine's ex or someone that put them through a lot. There's a lot of difficulties with this person who is claiming that they have whatever abilities they have. They might just be a paranormal investigator, or they claim they're very empathetic, and I don't know. They're claiming something esoterical or metaphysical, whatever. That's what they're claiming. But it feels like it's just to burden this person. Like, it's not true. Honestly, that's horrible, but that's what that feels like. Like, this person was just saying certain things to put more stress and worry and upset and work on somebody else. So what's up with this Queen of Wands, the Tower? Well, this Queen of Wands came into this man's life, or this masculine's life, like a motherfucking wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus is in the building. So this Queen of Wands energy is very confident. They're standing in their power. They might have an online presence. There's some internet component here. So I don't know if you spoke to this masculine online, like if you are the person, if you are this Queen of Wands energy, you could have spoken to this masculine, or they spoke to you. I feel like there is a level of rejection here, but for some reason, I kind of feel like the Queen of Wands was rejected because this king was tied to this other one. Give me more on the Tower, please, with this Queen of Wands. But it's not like they were dating. So, whoever this masculine energy is, they were single. But there's two energies they were looking at. They were very similar. Like, mirrored each other, but different. But this masculine was having a very hard time figuring out the differences and being logical in the situation. They're trying to play it smart. There we go. So whoever that King of Swords energy is, they're trying to play it smart. Because there's someone who's problematic and someone who comes out of nowhere, and that can be problematic all in itself. You know what I mean? Four of Cups, again, yeah. Well, what goes around comes around is what I want to say, because I kind of feel like if they rejected you, you're going to reject them, vice versa, whatever. Yeah, someone's going to reject a masculine energy. And it could be somebody that you actually were interested in. So, like, for some of you, especially if you're in the Queen of Wands energy, you might turn around and reject somebody that you were actually interested in. Because you're not anymore. I don't know if it's just because of time, situation, whatever the reason is. It just feels like shoulda, coulda, woulda. Somebody didn't. I did say free will. You have the choice to do whatever. Someone made the wrong choice. They chose hardship. They chose to deal with someone who was a pain in their fucking ass, basically. And that's not your problem, and you know it. Because I kind of feel like you have enough of your own issues and shit that happens in your own world that you don't need that crap in yours either. You know what I mean? I kind of want to just pull one of these and just see what we get, like what I feel, because these cards, oh, they're all reversed. You have to scan the code to even understand what the hell they are. So we'll just see what I feel off from it. It's too much. I only want one. I only want one, Spirit. You got one. You get what you give. You legit do. That's so fucking funny. Ghosting guru. Someone is a professional ghoster. They let people go like that because they can't make up their mind. They don't know what. They don't have direction. If you were trying to give them direction, even if it wasn't towards you, just give them direction in life. They fucking chose wrong. They ghosted you. And they're gonna regret it. Because it's weird, because at the bottom of the deck, there's awkward dancer. And you know what this is making me think of? Is someone who's trying to find themselves, trying to figure things out, you know? So during a difficult time for you, especially if you're in that Queen of Wands energy is what I want to say, where you don't have all the answers, because none of us do. But anyways, it's that awkward dance where it's like, this or that. Should I do this? Should I do that? Who am I? What's going on? You know, even if it's not who am I, it's just kind of figuring things out. This person was like, let your ass go. They ghosted you, blocked you, let you go. Well, guess what? You know who you are now. You figured out how to dance without them. You don't need them. You don't want them either. If this is going to resonate, you don't want this person. That's their loss. But yeah, I feel like I have so many different subjects I want to talk to y'all about. But that's what I have for you for tonight. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.